Hey, what is happening, people? What have we just witnessed tonight? What was that? What have we just witnessed, people? We are here for the live match reaction. As you can see, I'm not in my usual settings. You know the drill. I'm in mom's kitchen. You know how it goes. And I've enjoyed my day today. I'm not going to lie. I've enjoyed my day. I've enjoyed a couple of days. I'm going to enjoy my day tomorrow. But Lord have mercy, what we witnessed tonight, shocking is the YouTube friendly word I can use. I can't say the words I was saying offline. Pat here saying pathetic. Yes, I agree. I'm having trouble showing up long stuff. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start, man. Um, why is it in this kind of format? Honestly, guys, I can see your comments. What I'm going to have to do is when I see them, I'm just going to read your name and read your comment because for some reason on the phone it's having a problem showing it up on the screen. So forgive me. But we're here to talk about the match where Sheffield Wednesday have knocked out Leeds United out of the Carabao Cup in the second round on penalties, 3-0. I honestly don't know where to start with this because there's so many things wrong from the starting lineup onwards. I don't even know where to begin. And listen, again, if you donate in super chats, you're gonna have to probably wait until I get back home and I can shout you out then. But yeah, shout out for all the support. But guys, I mentioned in the preview, if you watch that, I said that we should go with a fairly strong team just to get the stench of Arsenal off us, and especially certain players in the team who had horrific nights, like Perry, or days, I should say, like Goodmanson, Perry, and a couple of others as well that could have done with playing tonight. And tonight showed that we should have gone a little stronger, if not for morale, but to get some of the players' confidence up ahead of the Newcastle game. Now, I know Newcastle have got a couple of injuries, and we'll get into that in the preview on Friday when I will be back in regular settings. But tonight was a good night and a good opportunity for this team to have a meal. And instead, we were the meal. And it shouldn't have been that way against this Sheffield Wednesday team. And listen, credit to their goalkeeper. I don't want to take anything away from their goalkeeper. He was good today, but we had chances that we should have taken as a Premier League side. Premier League side, I'm going to put in there in inverted commas. But yeah, it's one of those now where Farker's got some work to do, both tactically and the recruitment team and Farker have got work to do in terms of getting the quality of the squad up. And guys, I've got to say, I cannot wait until we do the transfer rating show next week. I cannot wait for that because that's when everything will come out. Everything that not I've been holding back, but every thought that I've had, if it hasn't equated to something else happening in the window with dominoes falling in terms of signing a player, thinking that you may be getting a different kind of player to supplement them. We're going to be talking about it next week. I don't have no sponsors. I don't have any connections that I want to keep. I will give it to you raw as always. But tonight, where do we start? Let's just go first of all with the wayward crossing of the night. Wayward crossing was a big thing tonight. Harrison, wayward crosses all night long. Didn't matter where he was crossing from, whether it was from deep, from these set pieces, from the just pointless crosses. And we've seen those many times before. Harrison as well. Are we saying that he's going to be our backup left back? Is that the plan for Jack Harrison in the Premier League to be our backup left back ahead of Goodman's? You know, when Goodmanson's not playing, we're going to see, won't we? But Harrison's crossing was woeful today. Okafor, it was. I've said it before with Okafor. He can be a good player, but he's no different to Nanto, Ramazani, or even Solomon before. In fact, Solomon was way more direct than Okafor in terms of getting shots off. But Okafor is literally another Nanto Ramazani. He's not a ceiling raiser. He's not. He's just one of those that is going to complement the squad and come in. And if he gets on a good run, we keep him in the side. If not, he goes out and we try something else. He's not that player that's going to take us to the next step. And again, this is not just on one night's performance, people. This is not reactionary. This is what I get the feeling of about some of the players that we've signed so far. Longstaff. You see when people try and gaslight you into thinking because a player signed for your club, all of a sudden they're going to be turning into this mercurial talent. Longstaff is exactly what you're going to see today that you're going to see in many other games when it comes to Sean Longstaff. A whole bunch of nothing. In fact, he had more MPMs today, moans per minute. Every time I saw him on the camera, he's moaning at the referee for something. Quality on the ball is non-existent, as I've said, but he's a runner. That's all. You know what? His running stats will probably be up there, and he'll be hailed as a good performance. Cool if you enjoy all that stuff, but he was ineffective. In fact, I forgot he was playing up until the camera zoomed in on him at one point in the game. What else have we got? There's so much. It literally took Nanto and Bogle coming on to save that game. Well, almost save the game. DCL. Well, we already knew, people, and I apologize. I cannot see a lot of your comments, so just put them in the comment section after the video's done, people, in main. But yeah, keep chatting amongst yourselves in the chat. I'm having a hard time seeing them. DCL. We already heard from Daniel Farker that he is having a pre-season to get himself fit. Like now, we're in season. He's having a little mini pre-season, and boy, did we see that tonight. Let's even discount the penalty, okay, which was horrendous, by the way, horrendous penalty. Just the open play chances that he had, he's got to score at least one of those. Has to. I get it. The keeper can make saves. I get all of that, but the one where Stat puts in the free kick, that should be bread and butter for a League One striker. You can't miss that. You can't mistime that kind of opportunity where we need that from our new number 9. As it's seen now, he does have the number 9 shirt. So there we go. Poor. And listen, people will say he's rusty, but if people believe in numbers, and I also believe my eyes that I've seen over the past few years of Calvert-Lewin, that's been him over the last few years. Now, he will score goals at some point, but that has literally been Dominic Calvert-Lewin when he's been fit over the last few years. But again, we can hope that he's just getting himself fit. He'll get into the groove and he will come good at some point. But that was a very, very poor debut. Probably a debut to forget for DCL. Who else, man? Who else is sticking out in my mind? Gruev is Gruev. Peru was ineffective in that role. Mecha, I didn't think. You know what? I think the whole thing just sucked. Okay, let me just be honest. I think the whole thing sucked. From minute 1 to the end, there was a lot of huff and puff, which is what this team is. It's a hard-working, drill team, but it's lacking quality. And again, it showed it tonight. Sheffield Wednesday were resolute, but they shouldn't have been that resolute against this Leeds United team. No way. They should never be that resolute against this Leeds United team. But we allowed them to be until we then bring on our big hitters, Stack, Bogle. In the end, it should never have come to that. Those guys should be ready for Newcastle and let's go there. But yeah, it was just a disappointing night overall. To get knocked out in the cup for me anyway is disappointing because, again, I always say that these cup games are useful for the squad players or the players on the fringe to prove themselves to the manager to say, hey, I deserve a chance in the next game. Don't forget about me. I've done really well tonight. I should be involved in the next game. Not a lot of people cover themselves in glory today. I'm sure I'm missing some really big points here, and maybe you guys can put them in the comments after. Oh yeah, the biggest point, the goal for Sheffield Wednesday. How can I forget? Darlow. This goes to the point again, and again, this will come in the end of the window transfer talk that we're going to do, and it's going to be a deep dive, people. It goes to the point I've said that we needed to overhaul a few positions, and the goalkeeper was one. Now, I know a lot of you thought that Darlow is good as a number 2. I genuinely believe you need genuine competition for your goalkeepers. We've got Lucas Perry, who obviously wasn't the first choice, but we've got him in. You should have got in a second one. But I know we're not doing the window like that. We haven't done the window like that all summer. But that's not just the reason why for that kind of goal today, but it's because you need a reliable number 2. And even when he came in at the end of last season, he was average, and that's all we needed him to be. He was just a steady hand at the back, whereas Meslier was a disaster back there. But now you're talking a level up, and that's why I feel like you should get a new number 2. But that goal was awful to concede, and it has gone down as a Darlow own goal, people. So it just shows you it's margins like that. It's all those kind of incremental improvements that you can have that make your squad overall better, man. And if you just look at the starting lineup for this team today, some of them wouldn't have looked out of place in the Championship, man. Some of them wouldn't have looked out of place. And I'm sure a few of you in the comments are saying a lot of them wouldn't have looked out of place. But yeah, the disappointment after Arsenal, this was a great chance to get back on the winning horse, get ourselves ready for the Newcastle game. what is going to be the lasting, not damage as such, that's a very strong word, but what's the lasting effect of that after losing to Arsenal and then bowing out in the cup against Sheffield Wednesday 3-0 on penalties, like, and all the effort it took as well to get back into the game. You just wonder, don't you, what kind of like lasting effect that may have, regardless of what's going on with Newcastle United in their injuries and the Isak situation. And that's what I'm looking at now. This game, for me, is in the rearview mirror. But what's not in the rearview mirror is the rest of this window, and that is where this recruitment team has to step up. By the way, that whole James Justin announcement as well. I've already announced James Justin and given the welcome yesterday. But the social media team saying the highly regarded James Justin. It's either tongue in cheek or they know that something's big is coming, because that highly regarded thing, along with a few other things that have been going on with this football club lately, is making us really look like we're happy to be here, and whatever happens, happens, and we're just here for the ride. That's what it looks like to me at this point in time. So unless the social media team or the 49ers who have put out that message have said, just put this out and then just wait for the end of the window, I'm very interested to see, because we was literally the only ones in for James Justin. No one else has really been linked with him apart from Everton, very loosely. I don't know what that was all about, but there's just a few things that have been making me feel like we're moving in a bit of a tin pot direction lately. And I didn't ever think that this football club would ever sink to those kind of depths. But that's maybe where we are right now, people. Maybe that's where we are. But yeah, we're going to see what we're going to do in the next few days of the window. We've got to do something big. There is no creativity in this team. That's another thing as well. You saw what we was creating today, people. It was all just championship kind of chances, crosses into the box. There was no clever flick rounds, no threaded balls, no decisive movement in anywhere. It was just cross, set piece. We don't have Gabriel, we don't have Saliba. We're not that team. Can we get some creative players in there? And I've heard the whispers as well about Solomon. I don't know how true that is, people. I don't see the point of that when we've already got Okafor, Nanto, and Harrison at this point that can play on that side. But again, we'll speak about that come the end of the window. But yeah, we need something else on the right for sure. Need something else on the right. We had Longstaff, Harrison on there today. Just runners, man. Just running around. Just how many of those can you have in one team? Where is the tech? But I'm on my own on that island. I get it. No one wants any technical ability. They want miles per hour clocks. They want a heat map merchant. I got it. But where is the tech that is going to help you out in games like this? Sheffield Wednesday, third from bottom in the championship. But yeah, listen, people, I'm going to leave it there, man, because this has been a bad one, a bad night for Leeds United. It's been a bad few days. And in the transfer market as well, when I'm seeing other clubs and what they're doing. I mean, I even saw Philip Billing leave Bournemouth. Now, I don't know if he wanted to go back to Denmark. Maybe he did want to go back to Denmark. I don't know. But he went for 7 million euros. 7 million euros. Now, Bournemouth would have probably charged us more because we're a Premier League team. But it would have probably been, like, say, 11, 12, let's just say. He would have been a much better option than Sean Longstaff. Philip Billing. Absolute monster, both boxes as well. And we weren't in for that, but we had a bid rejected and then went back in with more money for Sean Longstaff. That's the level. But yeah, anyway, people, I will see you in the next one. Like I say, I haven't been able to see all your comments in this one, but so drop them in the video after your thoughts on tonight and just how you're feeling in general after the last couple of results, I should say. And I'll see you in the next one, people. Like the video as well, hype it, whatever you want to do. See you in the next one. Peace out.